There it is.
Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by DrRoto.com.
So let's get to it.
Bring the pain!
Just let it ride out a little bit. What's up, everybody? This is Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you and Dr. Roto this week. Ooh, yeah. What's up, Dan? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I got my Santa sleep hat on. I got the beard rocking. I got the goggles on, and I got, my sling.
You're doing your thing. You're doing your thing. Let's have a little fun tonight. So we got the little cubes going on today because apparently, there we go. We're gonna make us a little wider here. Let's get a little bit of a surrounding incisions. Yeah. So everybody, this is a year in review for the Fight Club of Pain. Of course, I'm gonna have 2 DFS Showdown Slate lineups. Also, I got some bets. I have my betting article come out today. So I'll give out some of those bets too. Maybe we'll make a bet line. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll make a fun parlay. We'll see. This is a live show right now, people. So if you want to comment, ask some questions, talk about maybe the game tonight between the Rams and Seattle. We will be covering that. We'll be covering a lot of our UFCs. That's a big game, dude.
That's a big game.
That's a big game. I got no way. I got no way I'm going to do this podcast. So let's just talk about it, man. Let's just get right into the Rams versus the Seahawks. Literally, I feel that the team that gets home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs is the winner of this game. That's what I got going on.
I completely agree with you, Judd. I completely agree with you. I think whoever wins this division is home field advantage throughout the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
Home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They've proved they're the best division in football this year.
Yeah. We've had, and even San Francisco was a strong third. It just happens to be they're a little banged up. Same with Arizona. Banged up, lost Connor for the year. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. in and out the lineup. You finally get in. What's up, Steve? How you doing today? We got Fuego Steve stopping by. You ready for those juicy hits tonight? You got the NBA hot plays in the Dr. Roto subs only Discord, Steve. I know he's got it. He's been on fire. He took 5th place last night, won, I think, $75. Took 1st place only a few nights ago, $200. Fuego Steve has been exactly what he has been, Fuego. So when you want the NBA stuff, on top of that, Willie and everybody else, Steve Bell, giving out their stuff, it is definite. What's up, Havzula? What's up, Spider-Man Gamer?
Spider-Man Gamer, what's going on?
We're just ready to have some fun. This has been a year in review with the Fight Club of Pain. And we're going to talk about our lot of bets and everything. But right now, we're talking Rams and Seattle. So the Rams, of course, come into this game without Devontae Adams.
He said, can I have something?
That is, can I have something? You know what? If you want something at the end of this podcast, we will have free bets. So that's the one thing that we will have for you. What's up, Havs? What's up, Hoffy? We're gonna get you up on there. So this is a live show, of course, and everybody that's coming in.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we're sorry to hear that, bro. We're sorry to hear that. But we're here to talk some fun and have some festivities. I've got a coffee with an awesome Bring the Pain mug. I know that you guys can see that right there. It's a beautiful product that you can get it at this Bring the Pain at T Public. Also, like I said, I just want to have a lot of fun with this podcast and talk about it. So who do you think wins tonight, even without Devontae Adams? Who do you think?
Man, that Rams offense is so good. It's so good, even without Devontae Adams. That Rams offense is so good that it's hard to bet against them right now. It really is. They're my favorite in the NFC. They just beat my Lions.
So is that your backup team? Your backup
that is my
team
backup
to the Steelers?
I've been a Lions fan since the '90s, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It's that's
I'm sorry about your dog.
yeah, we like we said, we have it. Steve, we'll see you when you get back here. So I got the Rams winning no matter what. And I know I'm a Rams fan, it's a homer pick. But it's been the way that, like you were saying, is that the way Matt Stafford is taking control of this offense, it's like everything is clicking. Kyron Williams stays relevant. Then about at some point they start ramming the rock right up the middle with Blake Corum, which leads to a lot of yards because Corum loves the hits in the middle. So it's been a really good thing. And then, not really having Devontae Adams does hurt because that's a big, fast, wide receiver. And at the same time, when you take that out the offense, that's just something that can't be missed. And Seattle has a great defense as well, too. So that's going to make their task against the Rams a little better. But just like we seen in the last game, you saw the Rams jump out really fast, like McVay likes to do, and then kind of go into a steamroll approach.
Yeah.
That's going to be the pathway to success for the Rams. Now, the Seahawks can win this game.
It didn't really happen last week because the Lions came back, and I thought the Lions were going to win that game.
It was getting close. And then the Rams always have.
The Lions were up. What do you mean getting close? The Lions were up.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but that's true grit right there. That shows how strong this team is. What's up, Bridget? And how glued together the Rams defense is right now and offense is right now and playing together great football on both sides. And even in special teams, even Mervis jumping in as the kicker, scoring over 13 points in one of my fantasy leagues last week. That was a huge, huge, huge thing.
Yeah.
I think I'll give out my macho pick of the week too at the same time. So everybody, I'll have the macho pick of the week. So that was on Tuesday's live show. So I'll have that. That's one piece of my DFS lineup on the Ultra Contrarian show that airs on Saturday live. So you definitely want to make sure you check that out. So that being said, so you're picking the Rams then, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping the Rams win, man. They're my favorite team in the NFC right now, man. That offense is unreal, and Matthew Stafford is playing lights out.
All right, well, let's move along to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are playing the Detroit Lions. Are you scared?
Yeah, because can the Steelers' offense produce enough points to outscore that Lions' offense? That's what I'm scared of, because everyone knows, if you're an NFL fan, the Steelers' defense makes 3 stops a game. Their splash plays, their interceptions, their fumble recoveries, their strip sacks. But every other drive is a field goal or a touchdown. They do not make teams punt, and we all know this.
Yeah, it's been a real strange year because a lot of people, including myself, had them highly ranked on defense. But what ended up happening was it was just like there was no cohesion to the whole unit. And we talked about this all year. This has been well documented on Bring the Pain, especially the Fight Club of Pain, that Darius Slay was murdering you guys. He was getting y'all out. He was missing tackles, missing balls. It wasn't really – he made more bad plays than good plays. And that's where sometimes, like Jalen Ramsey, people would always want to dog on Jalen Ramsey. That's the one dude in that secondary that has held it together since Deshaun Elliott left or got injured pretty much.
That and JPJ, man, he's looked so good this year. He gives up a stupid penalty at least once a game.
Yep.
But if you look at it, Pro Football Focus, whatever it's called, they have him ranked as the second best corner in the league.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
he's been shutting people down.
Yeah. And, he definitely has had to make some strides this year because he's had to be called upon because of what Slay was doing. Now, Slay ain't around no more. We got it moved on right now, and I really think that that's a positive for the Steelers. But the Lions come into this game really banged up. Not only did they lose Branch most recently, they've lost Arnold, and they've lost more pieces in the Rams game.
Yeah.
Your team can exploit the secondary, and now they don't really have anybody big enough to stop DK Metcalf. But it comes down to what I feel has always been your Achilles heel all year long, which is the second wide receiver, somebody like Calvin Austin. Now, we saw this with MVS last week, and I will say this. I wish you would have been watching me live, because if you'd have been watching me live, Chrissy's sitting here, we're watching the football game on Monday, and I saw the motion picture MVS. I said, bam. I was like, this play has been saw the play, Green Bay Packers, knew it. I said, MVS touchdown, easy money. And he flipped it right across. They had the crossing pattern, touchdown. And then we all saw Aaron Rodgers and why MVS is on the Steelers. But he's a deep threat. So I do like that addition. But, man, overall,
Dude, and I think Adam Thielen has opened it up too, because Adam Thielen is a threat no matter how old he gets. He really is. He's a threat to catch the ball, over the middle. He's a good slot receiver at this point in his career. And I have no sympathy for Calvin Austin III or Roman Wilson, because you had a chance to prove yourself and you did not. Adam Thielen, he should be our number 2 or 3, and MVS should be our number 2 or 3. And
I agree.
They should trot those 3 out there with those 2 out there with DK, and just have a field. Have a field day, because all 3 of those guys are big people.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that's another thing we talked about all year for the Steelers, is that I don't like the size of Wilson or Austin, 5'9", 5'10". That's not going to get it done. That's as tall as me. That works as being a fighter in your weight class, etc., stuff like that. That does not work well in the NFL as a receiver going across the middle. You'll get the snot shit knocked out of you.
Yeah.
So you can't do that. You can't do these things. So that's the biggest thing. That's the key to you guys win this game. You have to exploit. You have to stop Hutchinson, which I think you guys definitely can do that.
Yeah.
Also, you have to exploit this weakened secondary. Once you do that, and you can exploit Detroit out of the backfield. So as we saw, Gainwell get a lot of work last week, or I should just say Monday, and then Warren gets it in. Now that Warren's feeling better, he should be able to get back to his normal, more of a split ball carrier decision, and then that's going to really help your team in the long run. It's really hard. Who do you got winning?
I'm telling you, Gainwell is a stud right now. He's playing the best football of his career right in the last 3-4 weeks.
I agree with that.
Yeah. He catches the ball. He runs the ball. And I think right at this point in time, he's seeing the field better than Jaylen Warren. And I'm a big Jaylen Warren fan.
Yeah.
I think Jaylen Warren should be the third down back, and Gainwell should start.
I've always thought that would have probably been the better route to go, but I think that I feel that they like Warren's size a little more, so they kind of work out. And Warren did have a 25-yard run last game called back.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is that it comes back to the offensive line not making those penalties that kill those big plays.
But I just think Gainwell hits the holes faster, and he's a one-look runner.
Yeah.
Jaylen Warren's a 2 or 3 look runner. So he looks before he darts. With the Steelers' offensive line, you just need someone that will see one hole and just go.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think you guys can win this game. You know what?
I think the Steelers. I do. I think the Steelers win 24-21.
You know what? I did see that, and this is all I saw. I saw that they have points for T.J. Watt on the fantasy sites. There might be a T.J. Watt. He might not be able to play the full game. He might be able to play some games, but if he can get some pass rushing downs, that will really help your defense. And that could, if you guys can get Jared Goff under duress, we all know Goff cracks. That's why the Rams didn't win their Super Bowl with him, right?
Well, I mean, the whole thing about TJ Watt right now, he's getting double and triple teamed every time he steps on the field because he refuses to move.
Mm-hmm.
If he moves across that defensive line and he plays the other side, or he plays the middle, or he plays a little bit to the left, he might be able to get in and not get chipped as much. Exactly what the Browns are doing with Myles Garrett.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
so go on.
With at this point in his career, I think TJ is a sack specialist, and I think you play him on blitzing downs, and you play him on downs like that. I don't think he should be a full-fledged starter for the rest of the year and let that lung heal.
Yeah, I can totally dig that, bro. And I think that will be, if he can play, that'll definitely be helpful. Yeah. So we got that, but let's move along to another game that's very vital for your division right now. And it's a really hard game too. It's the Patriots versus the Ravens. Do you feel that the Ravens can beat the Patriots?
I don't.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I don't think the Patriots have it, or the Ravens have it in them this year to beat any above 500 team. Their defense isn't good. They're in the second half of the league in sacks and in turnover ratio. Their defense isn't as stern and productive as it used to be, and that's what they depended on for a long time. And now you have semi-injured Jackson going in, and if you play a spy on him, he has to beat you with his arm, and people are proving now that Jackson's not the guy to beat you with his arm.
Yeah. And I think that also has been happening with Jalen Hurts this year too. This is a discussion a lot of people try not to have, but I have, because I always talk about it, because I feel that running quarterbacks put their bodies on the line way too much. So I'm going to show you guys this bruise, right? Look at that. Look at that nasty thing right there.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. Last week when I was fighting, I did my blitz technique against practically a heavyweight black belt, and we clashed. In the clash, I got a nice sharp feeling. I thought that was going to bruise a lot sooner. In my second match last night, it hit with one of our guys that came back, Cam, but he's a big teenager. He's strong, he's like at least 6'1" or something like that, muscular, stuff like that. So we both clash. Boom. The minute he hit that spot, when we clashed like this, I was like, ow. We lined back up. We clashed again. I was like, oh, ow, okay. So then I started going like this. I changed my stance from my left side to my right side, and I went back and forth. And then I changed my blocking technique to more of a smackdown. And I just was like, all right, well, hopefully nobody else blitzes the rest of the night, because my forearm hurts, and it was turning purple. And it wasn't much purple. It was turning purple by the end of the night. So it literally just grew. So I bring this up for a reason, because running backs get hit like this, or running quarterbacks get hit like this. So when they get these bruises on their arm, when they get these bruises on their quads, when they get hit, it wears on you to the next week. People just think that they get it. But this is why Jalen Hurts, other than maybe a couple games, but more so, Lamar Jackson has looked like trash for fantasy football, because he isn't even scoring above 10 points. And he's running, he's throwing them, and he's not doing anything. He's just been bad. Got me bounced in a bunch of leagues, got other people bounced in a bunch of other fantasy football seasonal leagues. this is not what we're looking for. And I just feel at this time of the year, just like some running backs, these quarterbacks have taken so many hits throughout the season that now it's catching up to them. Do you agree with that statement?
I do agree. Having a running quarterback, so I'm not a fan of the running quarterback. I'm a fan of the in pocket quarterback because I'm an old man, obviously, and that's where we come from. We come from the era of standing in the pocket and throwing the ball,
You're
and
right.
then you had gunslingers come in like Brett Favre and Ben Roethlisberger, and now Josh Allen, and um,
Yeah.
but the only running quarterback we had growing up was what, Randall Cunningham.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
Randall
It was
Cunningham,
Cunningham.
uh, how long did his career last?
Exactly. This is my key, and
And
I don't really care.
and
People can.
and he was great when it lasted, when he was there,
Yep.
and he had a cannon for an arm.
Mm-hmm.
But then after so many hits, his accuracy started to go down. Michael Vick,
Yep.
Michael Vick, but probably, in my opinion, the best running quarterback of all time.
He was good.
Uh, couldn't hit the blind side of a barn.
He
Uh,
could hit
a-
Algie
a- a-
Crumpler, though.
after the age of like 27, 28, couldn't hit the
Mhm.
blind side of a barn. Um, Vince Young.
That's a terrible. He was terrible.
Vince Young, he was a running quarterback, and
Yep.
that's all he did through college, and that's all he
Mhm.
did his first 2 years.
Yep. It just didn't work out.
RG3.
Look where he's at now. Behind a desk. Ben behind a desk. Why?
Yeah. So
Look at
these
Jaden
guys,
Daniels. Where's
Jaden
Jaden
Dan-
Daniels been this season, right?
yeah. So all these guys, you have a glorified running back playing the most important position in sports.
Yes. That's what it is.
And can he run? Yes. Is he the best athlete on the field? Probably.
Yeah.
But
And that's in Jalen Hurts is I believe that, other than Saquon.
when the time comes, can that athlete drop back and throw the ball like he needs to without running?
Yeah.
And they're just proving that these guys really can't.
Yeah. And I'm going to use this comparison too. I will go out on the statement, and I will say this right now, and it may not be what everybody wants to hear. No running quarterback will ever have a career as long as Tom Brady. And no running quarterback will ever have a great career like Tom Brady. Because if it was going to happen, somebody like Josh Allen would have already got to that plateau. And it doesn't happen because you have to have a good surrounding team.
Or even Aaron Rodgers. Look at Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He used to run. Steve Young. Steve Young's prime lasted 6 years.
Yeah.
6 years. Is he in the Hall of Fame? Yes. Was he one of the best to ever do it? Yes. Was his career long? No.
No.
It really wasn't.
hits.
He took too many hits. And these guys that are building their team around a running quarterback, I think it's going to bite them in the ass, butt, whatever you want to say. It's going to bite them when that quarterback gets injured or that quarterback starts to downgrade because his body hurts.
Regress.
When your legs hurt, you can't put as much throwing power into a deep ball.
Yeah.
You can't put as much zip on a fade route. You can't put as much zip on an over the middle throw. So
That's right.
if your legs hurt, you cannot throw the ball as far and as accurate.
That's right. That's right. I totally agree with that. And the thing is, like, we could think about Anthony Richardson at this point too. These people take too many hits. These players take too many hits. And if you don't think, even though they protect the quarterbacks more than they ever have, as we have all seen, once they get out that pocket, where do the defensive players go? Low and low. And they wrap you up. Look what happened with Patrick Mahomes. And you can consider he's not a running quarterback. That is just a straight baller, right? But he can run. But look how he got hurt.
Yeah.
He was running.
Yeah.
And he was running for his life in that game.
Well, yeah, he was running for his life all year. Like all season, he's been running for his life. That line is terrible.
Yeah, it was. It was. So we have the Rams both winning, Steelers both winning. I'm going to jump on your bandwagon for that one. And we got New England. So if the Patriots beat the Ravens and you guys can win next week, you don't even got to play.
No. They still have to win one more game.
Well, that's what I said. You could win next week.
Yeah, if we beat the Browns, if we beat Detroit and then the Browns, the game in Week 18 means nothing. And they come to Pittsburgh and we could just trot Will Howard on the field.
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. It would be even funnier if he just shot up the Ravens. That would be so funny, man. It would just be crazy. But I'm for that. I'm for all of that stuff going on. So we've been talking about a little bit about football. So let's talk a little bit about the UFC and what the Fight Club of Pain actually was and is the entire year. It is one of the only podcasts that covers a UFC fights and the Thursday night football game. So you got the UFC and the NFL all year. Did you like that structure?
I do. I love it. Not gonna lie. When you brought me into this, I didn't know what to think, and I was very green the first few episodes. So I like the way it is now.
All right. So I mean, talking about that, we might as well just get to it. Let's get to the elephant in the room. Your first year as a podcaster. Of course, you started the beginning of the year not thinking this was going to happen. Out of nowhere, I kindle the Fight Club of Pain from 2021 and try to actually push this as a UFC product because it seemed entertaining and we had talked. And now you're at where you're at. Talk to us a little bit about your first year as a podcaster.
Man, I love doing this. Every time you ask me to come on any of your podcasts, I'm here.
But, thank you, Dave.
But this will always be my favorite because I like being a sidekick. I do, man. I like being your sidekick. It's my favorite thing. When you say, talk about it, Dan.
I was like, Dan, talk about it.
Yeah. And then I break down the fights and, that actually, when you started saying that actually gave me confidence to start writing more and start going deeper into the fights.
Yeah. Yeah. And as everybody kind of grew with us and kind of learned for this, there was a learning curve for me too, having to watch a lot of fights. Also, Dan, you said that, Dan, let's talk about it. That's a key component. That's what makes like that you're this, I'm like the Summerall and you're like the John Madden. Or you could say you're the Pat Summerall. Well, I think I call you the Summerall because you have really these facts in these years because you've watched the UFC as you're practically the first sport for you, like I've watched the NFL. So for me, spitting NFL players is nothing. You say Michael Vick, I say Algie Crumpler. I'll go back. There's so many different things. I remember Eric Green for the Steelers. I remember Merrill Hodge for the Steelers. I remember losing Kevin Green and then Jerome Bettis to the Steelers. So we talk about that. When you bring up Lawler and McDonald fight, which I did watch their first fight. That was brutal, dude.
You did finally watch it?
Yeah, I did. That was a brutal fight.
That was my favorite fight ever. in the UFC.
Yeah, that was nuts. They were just slamming on each other's faces. I was surprised somebody didn't go down. If I would have watched that fight and had my under on that, I'd be like, wow, how did nobody fall? Sometimes two right people get together.
Bro, they were both on steroids. there was no sauna in that fight at all.
Yeah, there was nothing, man. And that's what's great is just being able to, see you develop as a podcaster, but at the same time being able to develop my own skills myself. Having the rest of the Fight Club of Pain talk to me in that Facebook, you being a big part of your side, and then me bringing in the numbers. But you saw my notes. You saw at first.
Yeah.
I was taking one piece of paper like this size, and I was writing like 10,000 things per fighter right in this little ass area.
Yeah. Yeah. And I showed you my notes, and like one side of the paper was one fighter, the other side of the paper was the other fighter, and you were like, "Oh, well, maybe I should do something a little different."
I've thought about the notebook, but my mind works. It likes to write things down, but it's all about photo capture. It's all about video capture. For me, I have to see it, understand it, and of course, that fight theory that we always talk about, use it to exploit. But the thing is all being able to do this and having this many events was able, by time like a couple months ago, I stopped writing all of those things. You know, and here's practically all of my Fight Club notes right here. It's like a deck of cards. And, I've got all my little things, and I'm writing them in, and now I don't have to because we've watched so many fights. We've talked about so many fights in depth that now I just know the fighters, know their numbers, and know what they did this past year, and been able to use that and exploit the sport books against themselves.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you'll send me the card that we're going to cover, or the fights that we're going to cover on the card, and I'll text you right back like, I don't even got to write for this one.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, a lot of the time, what I say is just right off the top of the head. Like today, I have zero notebooks, zero paper, nothing.
Well, I wanted it that way. I didn't want to. This episode is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be vigorous. We're supposed to drink some beers. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
And end the season strong. So we talked about a lot of the things that we liked. We talked, of course, about the NFL and some of the fight theory. And so when I was talking with Juice Box Walker on my podcast, and I was talking about with Connor Seifert from the MMA group here, Oasis MMA, we talked fight theory. We talked that, and that's what me and you do. We talk fight theory because when it comes to a sport like the UFC, you can use numbers, but the eyeballs will tell you everything you need to be about a fighter, and that's what makes this sport unique. And we've said it 1,000 times this year, but I would like to hear you elaborate on that because we have talked about it, but let's talk about it right now.
So even when I wrestled in high school, my coach would show me videos of the people I was going to wrestle.
Yeah.
And I would see their strengths and their weaknesses. Mm-hmm. And that moved on to boxing. When I boxed, person that I was fighting, watch videos of. If they're throwing a right hook and they got a hitch in their shoulder and it goes back a little bit and it slows them down, I'd exploit that because I'm left-handed. I'll just move to my left and throw my double jab.
Yep.
But those are the things I kind of look for when I'm watching fights. Now that we do this podcast, I look for weaknesses in fighters, and I look for strengths. So,
and I think that was, and that's developed me as well too. Of course, I'm a point fighter. For everybody that might just be joining or the people that know us, I exploit, so I attack like a point fighter. You talk about the wrestling side and the boxing side, but it's always great when we come together with a particular finish. And we've nailed a lot of finishes this year. We'll get to some of the bets. We'll talk about some of the bets. But that is something that a computer will never tell you. Because like you said, if your coach would have came to you and said, Here you go, Dan. Right?
Yeah.
You would have been like, what is this? It's a piece of paper. And you'd
Yeah.
be like, oh, well, look, this had this and this had this. And you go, yeah, but I don't know what the action was to get to that. What did they do? What did the other fighter did? Do we see these great things? And maybe this fighter got lucky and a couple slips happened and he got a good knockout punch and got a good ground and pound?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do because, like you said, you've watched a lot of video, and I've been watching the UFC since UFC 1.
Yeah.
When there were no weight classes, no gloves, no rules. You were allowed to bite, punch, kick, elbow, knee, kick people in the junk. You were allowed to do whatever you wanted.
Yeah. I watched it then too. It was crazy, dude.
But it evolved, and it actually became to me the most amazing sport on the planet.
You know, you bring that up as a great point because when I had Angelo from We Want Picks on, he talked a lot about that too. He's watched it, but he never left. And when I went through what I remember, he goes, exactly, those were the key points that the UFC actually brought some people back. But
yeah,
it didn't keep me long enough because of football. And then, of course, with fantasy football and then fantasy baseball, and then, of course, now working for Dr. Roto, I had to practically you got to put your aces in your places. So that's why handling the seasonal content, the DFS content for football, and then now practically all of the UFC content at Dr. Roto is handled by us. So, and that's big because a lot of people wonder, how do you create an actual show? How do you create an actual product? And that was put on display this year with the Fight Club of Pain.
That's this guy. That's it. That's you, man. You put together the show and you tell me what we're doing. That is 100% this guy. This guy over here. 100%.
And I do believe I always try to have some kind of a structure, but like when we go into the Fight Club of Pain, that's why when I just have the 3s or the 5 when we do the big events, it's more of a better structure to stick to. And I'm a crazy dude. If I don't have somewhat of a structure, I'm gonna go off the rail.
Yeah, I've noticed over the past couple of years that if we don't have something to do or somewhere to be, I can't find Rob. So.
Yeah, I kind of just run all over the place. And that was put on at the Fantasy Football Expo. That was an amazing time. We're gonna definitely take that. We're gonna take that with stride. So
we had
thank
a great
you
time.
again to the Lungs.
We had a great time, man.
That was such a great time. So, I do want to talk about that. In the rookie season, being able to talk to somebody like Connor Seifert from Oasis MMA Academy in Erie, Pennsylvania, talk to Angelo, We Want Picks, who he has his own product and it's all UFC.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm football, I'm baseball, and I'm UFC now. So he could have just said no. He didn't have to take that. He could say you're practically competition. But Angelo was a good dude to come on, bring the pain, and just talk fight theory and talk about the UFC, the UFC's evolution, and why it's as you said, best sport to watch, but also one of the best sports to bet on and play DFS with.
Yeah, I mean, all those guys, and Juice Box included, man.
I was gonna get the Juice Box as well too.
Juice
that was
Box
crazy.
Included. I mean, you had so many interviews this year, and I want to be a part of the next one. I was supposed to be a part of the Juice Box one, but I was sick.
It happens though, man.
But yeah, man, I through the beginning, did you ever think it would be this far? Did you ever think we would get this far?
So, applying a football science and model to the UFC number side, and then I knew that we could make a product out of it, but it's crazy. So you talk about the evolution, and if the Parlay of Pain has had some crazy weeks where I've had like a plus 4,500,
yeah.
But the evolution you speak of is the round robin. something that I kind of learned, I looked at it was as extra money, but then all of a sudden I started learning the round robin. I started feeling the round robin. And so for me, that's when I started using the round robin to beat and hedge on the sports books. And that's something that's been a big discussion. So as the evolution, I think if I would have stayed where I was at, I would have stayed where I was at, and I don't think we would have been successful. Yes, I had that huge DFS week where I was 10 points from $10,000.
Yeah.
It happened. And I had the 20 points going to bed. I woke up in the morning and I had 20 points less. So, for me, that was huge. And when I wind it back, being able to then take the round robin and apply it to football and see the science. We just had Fantasy Ed that came on the draft show. So you talked about guests. I had Simon Shackleton, aka Elite Force, on a 30-plus year record producer, literally just released a record last week, More Calm Than Lunatic, which is a bunch of unreleased songs from his Lunatic Calm days. And of course, he had the More Lunatic But Calm CD before that. Right in the middle of that, he put out a new track under the Elite Force brand called Burning. So this is somebody that's on my podcast. So as you talked about all these guests, Ed actually has been, he's just, he was tough as nails to get a word in when he was on the podcast. He frustrated me the one day, and then finally he goes, hey, he'd override. I put a round robin in. And then he said today, hey, he'd override. I put a round robin in, and look at this. I only missed one. That team he missed last week was the Panthers. The Panthers and the Chiefs broke both of my 5-leg parlays, as I was talking about on Tuesday. So that's the evolution, to be able to push other people to see how you can exploit the sport books through the round robin to where you're hedging, making a little money back, or just slaying has been, I think, for me, one of the most successful things, other than some of the big bets that we've been able to hit through the fight theory. But I think being able to learn and teach the round robin out and how to exploit it and use it correctly has been probably the best gift of the Fight Club of Pain.
I agree with you, and you try to talk me through the round robin when I was doing my bets. 3 weeks ago, and if you have the money to round robin, by all means do it. I don't have the money to round robin. I really don't, because you got to bet on everything when you round robin.
Yeah, well, dude, so that 7-leg parlay I put in, there was like 70 bets for the 10.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's like 70 bets. So people just think this is what he's talking about. When I was talking with Blake about the round robin, and I brought this up to you, when I was talking, we put together, we just threw together, I think it was like an 8-leg parlay. And like, it was going to be 4,000 bets. 4,000.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're throwing $1, you're going to have to throw $4,000 down.
Exactly.
So you can't do
crazy.
that. You got to throw a quarter. People, you got to throw a quarter. You got to throw 50, unless you're a millionaire. And if you're a millionaire, just hire the Fight Club of Pain, and I guarantee you'll be a billionaire by the end of the next year. I swear we're that good.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if I could afford it to round robin a few times, I would have made thousands and thousands of dollars. But I couldn't afford it, and I couldn't round robin, so I ended up taking that on the chin. So
you did, and there's been moments to cash out, like when I had my unbeaten streak defeated in that final round. You know, and that's like, dude, I was like 11-0, and I'm like, there's no way this dude loses, right? Boom, lost. And I'm like, come on, because I've been 11-1 on my picks multiple times this year, and I didn't start round robin like that day. I did the 13-0 unbeaten. If I would have round robin that,
I
would have won $10,000-$20,000.
You put in some crazy bets. You really have. Um, when you
Well,
when you tell me all the bets that you've made, I just shrug my shoulders like I didn't even think of half of those.
I,
But
that was like Jamie Lynn Horth this week. For people go, well, Beleza was gonna win. Oh, she should have won. Started off the whole card with a loss, and I went through that card completely untouchable. That
yeah,
one loss killed all of my money lines, and then of course the voided loss, which so on that 7-leg parlay, Blaza, and then of course that fight it was the Buchecha fight, right? Yeah, it was the Buchecha
yeah,
fight. That fight right there being voided took that 7-leg, made it a 6-leg, made it go 5-1. And the Buchecha line was a plus 100 something. So that was a big part of that parlay. That's where sometimes fights getting canceled or something like that can screw up the
yeah,
parlay in the round robins, but I was still able to return. And so when these before the main cards even over, because a lot of my parlay of pains and the 5 legs that I put in the subs only Discord at Dr. Roto, they hit early. Dude, I was going into the last 3 or 4 fights already up $50.
yeah,
So but having that plus 2,500 first and second round knockout for Horth is part of the sauce that we talked about, the Neil Magny chokeout. We had that. We had the
yeah,
RDD knee knockout. We had the Carlos Ulberg knockout. We just had the Manel Kopp knockout.
yeah. You cannot forget about the Michael Johnson decision victory. Cannot
Mm-hmm.
forget about that.
That was so big, so big. And to me, that's when we're talking about, we're not bragging. We're just telling you the numbers. Honestly, people, we're telling you the numbers because we're impressed. We're impressed. As Dan asked me the question, what is the biggest thing that we take from this? And this was the learning curve and how I've been able to use a sport to learn this sport, my fighting, learn this sport, and then take that into another sport and make it a profitable thing. That's what watching the Fight Club of Pain is all about. Learning what we do at Dr. Roto is
Yeah,
part of. That's what we teach. We're one of the cheapest DFS sites and seasonal sites, and we have multiple people in seasonal championships again. And we're there. And this was a hard year.
yeah. It was a tough year. It was a tough year for everything because there was a lot of underdogs that won this year. And
Yeah.
when you say about your fighting, I'm actually representing your fighting right now.
Yes,
So
that's it. I would have wore
um,
that, but I wanted to have my Fight Club shirt
yeah,
on. It was there. And my shirt
represent
doesn't look as good as your shirt because I fought in
representing
my shirt at first.
representing your fighting right now.
Yes.
You and your daughter. But
That is correct, man. The type of stuff like that, man. Look at that. That beautiful trophy right there,
yeah,
grand champion. That's the kind of expertise that we bring to the Fight Club of Pain. And it's all about just making everybody money. So that's why we say get to Dr. Roto. Use code word WIN. Get a percentage off of your prescription. Also, or subscription, whatever you want to do it. We use prescription. We have the right cure for any of your fantasy needs because on top of that, DFS Hero code word doc get you 20% off of their product as well too. I bring this up because these are the tools that we use to make some of these lineups happen, which I should probably get out because I know before we end we'll end the show a little bit after that, but I definitely got to get out the DFS lineups. So let's give out the DFS Hero real quick before we get back into it. So this is the DFS Hero optimized lineup for tonight. Captains Nakua, Barner, Xavier Smith, Darnold, JSN, and Parkinson. I like that. But here's my lineup. This is Heat Override's lineup. You got Parkinson as your captain, Nakua, JSN, Stafford, Atwell, and Barner. I think Atwell is going to be a big play I like Mumfield, but I am a believer that Atwell is he's acclimated. They threw him a couple targets last week, if we can get 3 or 4, maybe 5 targets, one of those targets, ain't no one know the Rams better than me. I'm better than the beat writers. I'm telling you this right now. One of those targets will be a long bomb. If he catches it, he will score a touchdown. So if you want to go to the sports books, play the over 15 yards catch for Tutu Atwell. They shouldn't be that. That should be probably a plus 110, 100. They might give you a negative 110 because without Adams there, it might move them up. So they're going to decrease and the action's going to come in on that. But I think honestly, that overall right there gives you the plays that you need. I love it. I'm in it, man. People need to go make
I like
money.
it. I like the Stafford pick. He's having an MVP season, man.
That's right. So let's give out. So this article was behind the paywall at Dr. Roto. And so I'm going to give out right now some of my bets from that. Since it's the end of the year, let's make you some money. Let's get ready to talk playoff best ball NFL. I fell in, Dan. I haven't talked to you about this yet, but I love best ball playoff for the NFL. It's so much fun.
I don't know
so
what
great.
I I have no idea what that is, but I know in fantasy, me and you were playing this weekend, and you'll probably kill me.
Yeah. Oh boy, it's gonna be great. Oh, you're playing my Yahoo team.
Yeah.
That's the team. That team is nasty.
Yeah, I know.
James Cook, Bijan Robinson.
You score almost 300 points a game.
This was a recheck year, and so we had no keepers, and I did a randomizer, and I got like the first overall pick. So when it came back to me, I had the first overall pick. I had went 1 through 10, then 10 all the up, and then I had the wrap back around for the snake, and that's how I got Bijan, James Cook, and that team's loaded. That team is loaded. So before we talk a little bit about that, let's get into this right here. Matthew Stafford, 2+ touchdowns. Darnold, 1 touchdown plus 143. That was in my lineup. I like Colby Parkinson, 4 catches. Barner, 3 catches. Rashid Shaheed, 2 catches. The Rams are susceptible long. I know that Cooper Kupp wants to have his little revenge game a little bit, especially the way the Rams trounced the Sea Chickens last week. And they're going to do that by hitting a bomb to Rashid. Go ahead and play the over 15 yards with Atwell and Shaheed if they allow it. I'll give you my touchdown scores of the day. I want the Puka. I want all of the Puka, but I used my Puka magic last week. I'm going Kyron Williams and Jackson Smith-Njigba are going to score. I will give you a first quarter parlay. I have hit a lot of these throughout the year, multiple times during a week, and this is how you use this money to go to the rest of the game. In the first quarter only, Kyron Williams plus 10 yards, Puka Nacua 10 yards, JSM plus 10 yards, plus 295 on FanDuel. And if you want to be a stinker, the LA Rams beat the Seahawks in overtime is a plus 1,700. Those are a little lower than normal, and for that reason, I'm going to get a little action, do about a half unit on that, and that's it. Those are most of my bets and parlays. So you're going to play those as singles, and you're going to play that in the parlay. So when the parlay goes 2 and 3, you get the 2 wins, and you hedge yourself from the rest of the money. That's what we always teach. That's how you do football. That's what we do. But yes, we actually play this week. And let's talk about that now. Do you think your team has a chance?
No, none. Zero. Zero.
So Dan is predicted 176.97. My team is predicted 220 points. The quarterbacks are Jalen Hurts versus Josh Allen. The receiver is Chris Olave versus CeeDee Lamb. Jonathan Taylor, I left him out for a reason. Jonathan Taylor versus Tyrone Tracy. Bijan Robinson versus DK Metcalf. I said DJ Metcalf. James Cook versus George Kittle. DeAndre Swift versus Stephon Diggs. A.J. Brown versus David Montgomery. And then defensively, I've got Tariq Smith. You've got Paulson and Abadeo. That's a good pick. I love that guy. We both have our injured-ass dudes, T.J. Watt and Max Crosby. We'll have to make those moves if they don't play. And tonight, I have Nate Landman. You have Bobby Okereke. He is an amazing linebacker. I love him much. So, I mean, you lost Adams tonight. So
Yeah.
that's a big loss.
Well, the thing is, yeah, I think next year this league we shouldn't be allowed to start all running backs. Rob,
Well, you guys didn't. But
we shouldn't be allowed to start all running backs. Rob,
and
one
that
running back,
happened.
one running back, one running back, one.
That happened because all of you guys took all the receivers like the rest of the industry, and I've always been a running back dude. And
I wasn't there for the first 4 rounds. You can't say you guys.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I started picking in the 5th round.
I'll blame Justin then. Justin and his buddy Shane and Thomas.
You can't start a quarterback and 6 running backs. You can't do it. You can't do it. It should be illegal.
So my first 3 picks were Bijan Robinson, James Cook, and Jonathan Taylor. So
yeah,
you
shouldn't
guys
be allowed to
know
do that. You shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Even in a league with 2 running backs and a flex, I still could have got them.
And you run this league, so it's kind of shifty.
Oh, he called me shady as shit.
No wonder why you're 13-1.
No, I'm 12-2. 12-2. I am the defending champion.
Oh, sorry, you're defending 7-time champion. 7-time champion.
Because in this league, I probably am 7-time champion. I and Chrissy.
You start nothing but running backs, even at your quarterback position.
No, Jalen Hurts. Screw you, dude. Hey, man. He said I Taysom Hill the tight end position. Next year I am adding the tight end position because
you should have to have quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end. Flex.
And that's what I will do next year.
That's it.
No, you can't have one. You gotta have more than that. You need flex, man. You need flex.
Two receivers and 1 flex. 2 receivers and 1 flex. Not 17 running backs.
You know that, yeah. I got it. I got Willie Marks on my bench. I got Kyle Mongai because I got DJ Moore. I got Tyler Agier. So I got my back. I handcuffed this team. It was perfect. It's just
your quarterback's backup is a running back. You got nothing but running backs on your whole squad.
It's
even on defense.
Chris Olave.
Even on defense, you start them because of special teams.
Yeah. Dude. So I got the Rams. Oh, I got the Rams. I might have to move in the Packers. No, you know what? I'm gonna keep the Rams in this team. I'll use my Rams against you. I have faith in my guys tonight here in about 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
Not fair.
Not fair.
Not
fair, man. Dude, I think everything's been just so fun with the whole growth and everything and just being able to get to these points and then you doing fantasy football and just getting moments like this and laughing about this is what fantasy sports are. Like people, you can make money off of it. But I like to do it for fun and challenge.
But it's fun. It's fun. To me, it's fun. I don't bet on anything. You know that.
Yeah.
I do all of this for fun. I talk fight theory for fun. We do this podcast. I do it with you for fun.
Yep.
It's a good time to be every Thursday.
I think that's what people miss with podcasting sometimes, is that sometimes podcasting allows you to talk to people that you'll never meet or maybe meet. We might meet Juicebox Walker one day, and when we do, he's going to really see how short I am. But he's going to see how crazy enthusiastic about his career we are. And at the same time, what we like to do at the Fight Club of Pain. Like, hell, I would love to go to – I know we had this Vegas talk earlier. I would like to go to Vegas and meet Angelo and Jacob, the freckled salamander. Ooh, yeah. And then just have come in rolling with the Fight Club of Pain shirts and just showing out and showing up, having a great time, having some drinks, and just watching some good fights go down. With the new deal with Paramount, being able to get all of these without a pay-per-view cost, I'm fine with it. People go, they're jamming you every month. So what? Jam the shit out of me, bro, because I want to watch some good fights.
I mean, it's the same thing that what Peacock did with the WWE.
Yeah, and then but the whole ESPN bullshit add on to that was bullshit. We didn't need that.
Well, no, because I have YouTube TV and I didn't need all that. And my wife and my kid are WWE fans, so I have to buy extra shit. Yeah, it's just terrible.
We love football, WWE, and the UFC. So that right there alone is like that guy. But that's why we don't pay cable bills, because we don't need to pay the extra shit that we don't need, because we aren't watching it, because we're watching wrestling on Tuesday, wrestling on Monday. Should probably start with Monday first. Watching wrestling on Friday. We got Saturday night mains events. We got NXT pay-per-views. We got UFC pay-per-views. We got more this year. It's going to be so many. We're going to get a little bit of time off here and there. But just having an overall, and that's the thing too, is of course we didn't buy every pay-per-view. We're not going to spend $80 and have something like the Macy Barber fight go down. And that just sucks. And when you miss a main event like that, or when you have what RDR put out last time. And I don't want any of that. I want to see this. I want to play it, and I want to do that. And that will only allow us, because honestly, I was going straight to TikTok and watching that shit. I just got to turn the phone like this.
I was watching on my Fire Stick, so
hey,
I can't say
mostly
nothing.
Everybody was. So take our money.
Say nothing.
You know what's funny is the one thing about having Paramount now, you can all go watch. Everybody watching right now, go to Paramount, go to Undercover Billionaire, Comeback City, and go watch the TKO episode. You can see your boy Heat Override learning some karate from his guy, Sensei Arrington. And you can hear about what Sensei Arrington, being a retired state police officer, starting out TKO, which is a Trinity Karate organization, started in the Trinity Church, and the program with the boxing side of it through our Sensei Matt, they were able to get kids to go there and learn boxing and karate rather than stay on the streets and cause mischief and mayhem. And I'll tell you what, when I had my sensei, and rest his soul, Jose, on, right? Because I lost Jose. We all lost Jose last year. And Jose, for me, when he was on Bring the Pain, he's more controlled. And that's because he was in this system for a long time. And even this system has somewhat changed me and how aggressive I was, and has been able to control and mold me in the everyday. I mean, maybe the Pain Bringer's still crazy as hell, but I think that in a lot of ways we all learn going forward. And I think that that's the product that Sensei Arrington puts on at TKO Erie. There's a reason why Jessica Borga also is sponsored by us, because she doesn't just let anybody sponsor her. She only lets the real sponsor her, because she's about real people, and Master Arrington is a real person.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's why I got the shirt on.
Yeah. So everybody, go watch that on Paramount. Go watch it. Go watch the episode. Go learn a little bit about Erie, PA, and learn what this man does for a lot of the youth. We see it all go through. We see him come through, but also what it does for people like myself, being able to go there and spend that time with my daughter, go to tournaments and spend time with you, and spend time with your daughter. And now you're not only part of the crew, literally, Len, your talk with Len about boxing between Youngstown, Ohio and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, you guys talked for like 3 hours. That's amazing.
Yeah. He's such a good dude, man. And we know so many people that, we both know the same people.
Yeah, that was crazy. I heard, but I don't know him.
I guarantee you I met him when I was fighting a long time ago. I guarantee you that I either hit the pads with him or shared a ring with him at least once.
Yeah, and that's awesome. That's what MMA That's what combat sports does, and that's what going forward. The product, the Fight Club of Pain at Dr. Roto, not only strives to be one of the best, we try to be the best. We may not have all the tools or the backing that everybody else might have, but we have optimizers, we have your mind, we have my mind, and that's been the cohesion of the unit that has kept us and made and helped us become so successful this season. And like
Yeah.
we had talked about a lot with this episode.
So, Rob, what do you feel about this Anthony Joshua Jake Paul fight?
I just want Anthony Johnson to knock the shit out of him. And I know there's a bet somewhere and that's it. But I know Paul has definitely put the work in. But Joshua's big, bro.
He's a big boy.
That's a big boy. But
That's a
if
big
it's
boy.
fake, then Paul will win again. Money buys things, as we saw with Isaac Dalgarian.
And Anthony Joshua put Francis Ngannou to sleep.
Yes, he did.
You know that, right? Like,
Yes,
he put him to sleep.
And the people don't think he's going to put that little dude ass to sleep. He's going to knock him out. You don't think so? You like Paul, don't you?
No. I'm not a Jake Paul fan. I think he brings disgrace to the art of boxing. Truthfully,
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
He fights people 6 to 7 weight classes below him, and he walks in at over 200 pounds, and he's fighting people that are 160 pounds. And,
that's right.
There's weight classes for a reason.
Yeah. Sucks being me sometimes, but go on.
And there are rules and regulations for a reason with those weight classes. And
that's right.
I think what he does with retired MMA fighters is complete nonsense, because if you train right now, I trained boxing for over 20 years.
Yep.
I've been retired for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But if me and you stepped into a boxing ring,
yeah,
I would still be able to box you.
Yes, you would. That's right. And that's the thing, is because it's like muscle memory. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah, I would still be able to box you. Mm-hmm. So boxing is completely different than martial arts.
And I agree with that. We've talked about that a lot too, because, I said, I got to keep the boxer away, because they're going to go inside. They're going to knock the shit out of me. I don't move. My head movement isn't like that, because I'm like this, right?
Yeah. You're worried about kicks and, leg strikes and everything else. What I'm worried about is getting punched in the head. So
yeah.
I move like this.
Yep. And that's what they do. They come in, you guys come in, and you duck in, and you come up and whack. Whack. Now, I've been hit with some uppercuts, and that's because when you get close to a karate guy, now, of course, the stamina thing, the speed, the point fighting, that's what that teaches. And that's what separates the great gyms from some of just normal gyms, is being able to teach the karate, teach the MMA, teach the grapple, teach all of that all around.
I mean, I get it, but if you're a boxer, you're a boxer. Mm-hmm. If you're an MMA guy, you're an MMA guy, because you're training everything.
Yes. But still, boxing's still so good.
As a boxer, I know nothing about kicks and your stances. I know nothing about that.
Yep.
But you may be trained a little bit in our stances and the way we move.
Yeah. But I can't hang.
I
don't train that full time.
We don't train to block kicks. We don't train to block anything from the waist up.
Yep.
So I mean, if I walked into a ring with you and you leg kicked me,
that would happen.
Yeah,
I wouldn't let you. I don't let the boxers near me. I
I'd
run.
be like, what just happened?
Yeah, and the thing too is you bring the stance. A lot of boxers fight like this, which for a sidekick leaves me all of this wide
Yeah.
open. So that's what I actually was talking with one of the newer people, and it's a kickboxer, and they come forward like this, and I'm like, you got to turn to the side. I can sidekick you all day. So then I sidekick, and then I wait, and then I sidekick, and then I sidekick, and then I sidekick. Like the one dude, the second match, I literally had my foot on his chest or his stomach every time he came within 1 foot of me. There was a
Yeah.
foot to let him know if he's going to go further, or if this was a real fight, I would already drove that through him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't train for that. So
Yep,
there's a big difference in
there
an
is.
MMA fighter going
Hmm.
into boxing and a boxing fighter going into MMA.
That's right. That's right.
Uh, a, a boxer has to train everything else,
Hmm.
literally everything else. An MMA fighter has already trained in everything a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's, but if you put those two in a boxing ring, the boxer is going to piece them up.
Yep.
But if you put them in a cage, the MMA fighter's either going to take them down or leg kick them to death.
Yep. And most boxers might not have the most built of legs.
Exactly.
So, a couple leg kicks and they're probably going down. They kicked me in my leg. That's why I don't really spar. Like, I'll kickbox with the boxers, and that's what I have to say. Are we boxing or are we kickboxing? And I've said that to you before. The minute they go kickboxing, I go, ha ha ha. But the minute they go boxing, I go, all right.
Yeah.
Let me get my
And
jaw ready.
I mean, granted, if you put me in an MMA ring, I could probably hold my own because I
You're
wrestled for a
wrestling.
long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you kick me in the leg, I'm just taking you down.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the minute you throw a kick, you're gonna take him down.
Yeah, I'm not throwing any kicks. If we're not standing and banging, I'm taking you down,
That's what's up.
and I will wrestle you. But
Mm-hmm.
stand up, it's a different thing. Like just throwing hands is a different style than being able to knee, kick, elbow, and everything else. It's different.
Back fist.
It's completely different.
Mm-hmm. Dude, and that's what makes, again, going back to it, combat sports, the UFC, different. We talk about you can only score a touchdown, but I've watched people go with these games on Thursday and Monday nights, Sunday nights, and a lot of the highest touchdown, those guys miss a lot. Those guys miss. So like my Kyron Williams, it's probably going to miss. JSN might not miss because that's technically the way the Seattle Seahawks love to attack, which that game's started. But at the same time, that's kind of what they look for. And that's why you see Kenneth Walker not getting many touchdowns, which the last time he played the Rams, he did get a touchdown. Kenneth Walker's always kind of had a good game against the Rams, but I didn't start him this week in my hometown my high stake league because I have Jalen Warren, Ashton Jeanty, and Brees Hall, but I only need to start one running back, so I'm probably only starting one running back this week, and it definitely wasn't going to be Kenneth Walker, who's in a share committee against my team, who can stop the run. So I hope he's not running down the field right now.
So
But yeah,
who's your top 10? You just posted it today. I didn't get a chance to look at it. What's your top 10?
the top 10. All right, so let's get it in there. So the top 10 for power rankings is I got Victor Yan 10, Joshua Van 9, Aspinall 8, Marab Davalishvili 7, Holloway 6, Volkanowski 5, Chaiman 4, Ariada 3. Taporia is on there now. This is gray area, people, because now he's going to be gone for a long time. And Makachev, number 1 overall.
All right. I mean, it's not that much different from the UFC rankings, pound for
I
pound.
never looked. What did they put?
All right. Number 10 is Max Holloway.
Okay.
Number 9 is Pantoja.
Okay.
8 is Tom Aspinall. 7 is Dvalishvili. 6 is Peter Yan.
Okay.
5 is Volkanovski.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Alex Pereira, Chimanov, Topuria, and Makachev. So
Dang!
you got the top 4 perfectly.
Yeah. And but practically, so I did a trade on Holloway and Jan. So they traded them. So and we had this discussion. I just feel that Jan is going to lose this belt the next time he fights. And for me, I think Holloway can beat Oliveira.
Yeah.
So
especially at 155 now.
Yeah.
The last fight was at 145.
Mm-hmm. And Holloway, he just needs to do the Topuria. Just get him in the boxing match, allow Oliveira to use his kickboxing and stuff like that, and then whoop, put him to sleep.
Did you watch the Topuria Holloway fight?
I have not watched that fight.
All right, so watch it. Max Holloway won every round until he got knocked out.
You have brought that up on the show.
Max Holloway was winning that fight, and he got hit with that punch. Max Holloway was winning that fight.
So would you switch Jan? So do you agree with Holloway being over Jan?
No, I agree with Max Holloway at number 10 because he's coming off a loss.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Peter Yan, I agree at number 6. I don't agree with him being above Merab. I think Merab has won too many in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that last fight, he pushed himself to too many limits. I think he was trying to beat the record for title defenses, and he didn't get enough rest, and he didn't train hard enough.
I agree with that. And I think that when you train for that many fights, I mean, we've seen a lot. Van has fought this year. Juicebox has fought twice. Of course, WCA has fought Waldo Cortez Acosta, for the people that don't know.
Yeah.
He's fought a lot this year. He took his loss, but he's won some. And he gets to fight. It's got him in the ring with Derek Lewis, the all-time knockout leader.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be there if he didn't put the work in.
Yeah, but you figured Merab defended a title 4 times in 1 year. That's every 3 months. That's every 3 months, which means he never left training camp. Every injury he had followed him to every training camp.
That's right. And
because it's few and far between you do not get an injury in a training camp.
You get banged up.
So
it's just like by the time you get to the end of the football season, you end up being Lamar Jackson. So and that's really what it is. He should have waited on this he should have did this fight for the January 24th.
I agree. I agree. But Peter Yan fought a beautiful fight.
Yes, he did.
He really did. He fought a beautiful fight. His boxing was the best I've ever seen in the UFC.
Yeah.
Ever.
It was crisp. He stuck to a game plan and he executed it perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
He defended takedowns. He did it.
And his jab and those what he was throwing a 1-4. Those 1-4 combinations he was throwing were just unreal.
Yeah, and he tapped him every time he came in for the grabs.
Yeah,
but he was able to get out of the grabs and never give Merab a chance to actually get strong with his grabs.
Yeah, just unreal.
Yeah,
and I agree with Pantoja at 9 and not Josh Van because Pantoja deserves to be there and Josh Van does not until Josh Van defends his title.
I'll agree with that. But I moved him down. I got all happy boyed with him at 6 last week, but I settled down and I threw out those rankings. And you're right. Healthy Pantoja probably wins that fight. Maybe he doesn't, but even with the few exchanges they had at the beginning of that, Pantoja looked fast. He looked super fast. He was getting in and out.
And Josh Van is at 12 right now on their top 15.
Yeah.
He's at 12, which I agree with. I agree with it.
I agree.
But I don't put him above Pantoja right now because to me that fight was kind of like Dr. Stoppage. I can't continue.
Yeah. It was an injury. It's an injury.
Yeah.
It happens. But where in the NFL, the backup running back comes in, no backup fighter comes in. You're done. You lose your parlays. You lose your DFS lineups. You lose it all. You're just done. It just happens. You don't get a chance. And I think that sucks the most. But hey, that's what happens.
So your top 4, Islam, Ilya, Hamzat, and Pereira.
Yeah.
They're not fighting to the second half of next year.
Exactly.
None of them. Not one of them.
Topuria's got a lot to come out of. His head might not be right after this divorce either.
Look, man, if you get a divorce, right? Or if I get a divorce, do I get to call off work for 6 months?
No.
Do you?
Nope.
Then why does he?
Yeah. And I think that's a comfort thing because he makes so much money off of some of these fights.
My thing is that I can't. If I ever get a divorce from my wife, there's no possible way I could call off work for 6 months.
Yep.
Because I'm sad.
Yeah, and you think you want to get in there and try to work it out? Go to a quiet place.
Yeah, he's taking off work because he's sad.
Yeah,
and have to grow some balls, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you had enough balls to slap her up a little bit? Is that what happened? We got some LaMotta shit going on here. You know, it's all coming out, and she's been kind of silenced for a while, but now she wants to kind of get it all out.
Yeah, grow some balls. You're not great. You're not great. I truly hope he fights Conor McGregor and Conor McGregor knocks him out. Just to prove who the real Conor McGregor is.
That would be that's a fight that people do want to see. And I wouldn't mind seeing that fight either. And I wouldn't mind betting on it either. Because I definitely would be betting the under. Somebody getting knocked out in that fight. That's crazy. So before we get out of here, Dan, because it's about that time. We're at 82 minutes. That's amazing, dude. What a great show. So I want to say thank you to everybody that attended the show, listened to us, and talk about just how great the year is, just the different things that we went through, the experiences we were able to, from the interviews, the growing experiences from both of us, and the cohesion that we've been able to create and that we're going to take into next year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, everybody. Keep watching, man. Tell your friends.
Keep going. Keep doing what we got to do, man. Thank you, Dan. Good luck to your team. And always remember to bring the pain. Ooh, yeah.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.